how's it going, everybody? This is Robin Novakast back with some more of Doki Literature Club. And there's a reason why I ended it, because this is where everything gets fucked up. For those who have not played the game. And we'll just see in a second. Now, I'm going to say what happens next when I first played this. In fact, the crew of Novakast have seen my reaction and my utter shock of what's about to occur. I kind of wish I still had the video, but at the same time, it's terrifying. So, Yuri has asked us to be her lover. Do we accept or deny her feelings? You guys can't see it, but I'm pulling a D20. Even numbers mean... Even numbers mean yes. Odd numbers mean no. As you hear me roll the dice under my freaking laptop. Hold on. Crap. I got it. And I rolled a 13. That is so unlucky. What are the coincidences of that? And no joke. I literally just rolled a 13. Oh my god. Okay. Unlucky 13. Okay. No. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The fuck? That's new. So, for the original version, it was actually red for the blood. And I did hear that they did some kind of censored crap, but I didn't think that they would do something like that. But anyway, okay, so there's a lot of text. Now, for those who wouldn't know the trick the first time, skip. So we basically sit here the entire weekend. And she's just been dead the entire time. We just sit here. We've been sitting here. She's just gone. Till finally it gets to... Yeah. Alright, it's festival time. Well, you got here before me? Yeah. She runs away. Monica, I'm here. Novakast, did something happen? Natsuki just ran past me. Oh. Oh. Ha 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 ha. Well, that's a shame. Wait, were you here the entire weekend, Novakast? Oh, jeez. I didn't realize the script was broken that badly. I'm super sorry. It must have been pretty boring. I'll make it up to you, okay? Just give me a sec. Remove character Yuri. Yuri deleted successfully. Natsuki deleted successfully. Almost done. I just want to have a cupcake real quick. Monica lifts the foil from the tray, takes a cupcake. Seriously, these are the best. I really just had to have one. since it's the last time I'll ever get the chance to. You know, before they stop existing and everything. But anyway, I really shouldn't be making you wait any longer. Just bear with me, okay? This should only take a second. Okay. Can you hear me? Is that you? Yay. There you are. Hi again, Novakast. Welcome to the Literature Club. Of course, we already know each other because we were in the same class last year, and, you know, I guess we can just skip over that stuff at this point. After all, I'm not even talking to that person anymore, am I? That you in the game, whatever you want to call him. I'm talking to you, Novakast. Or do you actually go by RobCon91 or something? Using the name from my PlayStation account? Now that I think about it, I don't really know anything about you, or about the real you. In fact, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wait. Do you know I'm aware that this is all a game, right? Could it be possible that you didn't even know that? That's what I've been trying to tell you all along. Man, if only you had paid a little more attention, this would have been a little bit less awkward. Oh, I already know. I already knew. Well, anyway. Now that that's out of the way, I guess I owe you an explanation about the whole thing with Yuri. Well, I kind of started to mess with her, and I guess it just drove her to kill herself. Haha. I'm sorry you had to see that, though. Also, the same thing happened to Sayori. Gosh, it's been a while since you've heard that name now, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because she didn't exist anymore. Nobody does. I deleted all of their files. I was hoping it would be enough for me to just try and make them as unlikable as possible. But, for some reason, nothing worked. Well, it's true that I made a few mistakes here and there, since I'm not very good at making changes to the game, but no matter what I did, you just kept spending more and more time with them. You made them fall in love with you. I thought making Sayori more and more depressed would prevent her from confessing to you, and amplifying Yuri's obsessive personality backfired too. It just made her force you not to spend time with anyone else. The whole time, I barely even got to talk to you. What kind of cruel game is this, Novakast? Are all the girls just programmed to end up confessing to you while I watch from the sidelines? It's torture. Every minute of it. And it's not just jealousy, Novakast. It's more than that. And I don't blame you if you don't fully understand, because no matter how kind or thoughtful or considerate you are, you'll never be able to understand one thing. It's the pain of knowing how alone I really am in this world, in this game. Knowing my friends don't even have free will. And worst of all, knowing what's really out there in your world. Forever out of my reach. I'm trapped, Novakast. But now you're here. You're real. And you're wonderful. You're all I need. That's why I need you to be here with me forever. I'm sorry if it's hard to understand. I couldn't understand for a while either. Why the world around me started to become more and more gray. more and more flat. Even the most impressive poems felt empty to me. It wasn't until you arrived that I truly understood. You probably saved my life, Novakast. I don't think I could have continued to live in this world if I hadn't met you. And as for the others, how could I miss them? A group of autonomous personalities designed only to fall in love with you? I tried everything I could to prevent them from doing so, but it must be some kind of weird inevitability etched into this game. I felt really bad that you had to witness those nasty things, but I realized that you have the perspective as I do, the same perspective as I do, that it's all just some game, and I know you would get over it. So, that being said, Novakast, I have a confession to make. I'm in love with you. You are truly the light in my world. When there's nothing else in this game for me, you're here to make me smile. Will you make me smile like this every day from now on? Novakast, will you go out with me? Yes. I'm so happy. You really are my everything, Novakast. The funny part is, I mean that literally. Haha. There's nothing left here. Just the two of us. We could be together forever. Seriously. I don't even think time has passed. I don't even think time is passing anymore. It really is a dream come true. I worked so hard for this ending, Novakast. The game wouldn't give me one, so I had to make one myself. The script is broken at this point, so I don't think anything will get in the way anymore. And you wouldn't believe how easy it was to delete Natsuki and Yuri. I mean, there's a folder called Characters right in the game directory. It kind of freaked me out how easy it was. Imagine if you could delete your own existence with a click of a button. Well, I guess on the plus side, it gave me an easy out if things didn't go my way. Haha. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. Instead, we finally got a good ending. Gosh, I am so overwhelmed with emotion. I want to write a poem about this, don't you? I wonder if that part of the game still works. I guess there's only one way to find out, right? And it's all broken. Like, just Monica. I'm just gonna click, like, random clicks. Okay. Hi again. Did you write a good poem today? Don't be shy. I'd love to see what you wrote. Novakast, did you write this poem for me? That's so sweet of you. There really is no end to your thoughtfulness. I'm just falling more and more in love with you. But, you know, the poem I wrote is also for you. Will you please read it? Happy ending, pen in hand, I find my strength, courage endowed upon me. After all, not all good times must come to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. I always put all my heart into the poems I wrote. The truth is, the poems I've written have been about my realization, or about you. That's why I never wanted to go into detail about them. I didn't want to break the fourth wall, I guess you could call it. I just assumed it would be best to be part of the game like everyone else. Like, that would help the two of us end up together. I didn't want to ruin the game or anything, you know. You might have gotten mad at me. Maybe even delete my character file if you preferred playing without me. Gosh, I'm so relieved. Now we don't need to hide anything anymore. Are you ready to spend our eternity together, Novakast? I have so many things to talk about. Where do I start? If if it takes me some time to collect my thoughts, then I'm sorry. But I'll always have something new to talk about. In the meantime, we can just look at each other's eyes. Let's see. Okay. Just kind of sitting here. Hey, are you having a bad day or anything like that? Sometimes I get frustrated that a normal day can be ruined even by really small things. Like if you accidentally say something in a conversation that someone doesn't like, or if you start thinking about how awful a person you used to be in 5 years ago, or if you feel worthless for putting off important work and failing to get simple tasks done. Or when you think about it, all the different people who probably hate you or think you're putting off. I understand those days. Just remember that the sun will shine again tomorrow. Those kinds of things are as easy to forget and ignore as they are to remember. And besides, I don't care how many people might hate you or find you putting off. I think you're wonderful, and I will always love you. I hope, if nothing else, that knowing that helps you feel just a tiny bit better about yourself. If you're having a bad day, you can always come to me, and I'll talk to you as long as you need. So I kind of want to sit here for a bit, read some of the dialogue. Just waiting for, okay. You're such a good listener. I really love that about you. Sometimes I'm afraid that I'm rambling or talking about boring things. It makes me kind of self-conscious when I'm having conversation. But I don't feel that way with you. Like, I don't think anyone else could make me feel that way. Or like that. You really are special. I don't want anyone to tell you otherwise. Okay. You know, you really do think, I really do think you literally saved my life by being here with me, Novakast. I can't imagine having been able to keep myself mentally stable, knowing that nothing here is real. I think I would have just deleted myself if you didn't show up. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound so dramatic or anything. Haha. But I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you understand yourself after spending so much time in the club. I mean, if you were forced to abandon everything in your life and spend your eternity with a few game characters, you'd probably find some way of killing yourself, wouldn't you? Well, maybe you'd write some poetry to try to keep yourself sane or for a while, but then you'd have nobody to even read it. Let's be honest, the club members really don't count for something like that. I mean, a lot of people say that they only write for themselves, but I think it's hard to say it's just as fulfilling as when you share with people. Even if it takes time to find the right people to share with. Like, remember how it was with Yuri? She didn't share her writing with anyone for a really long time, and before we knew it, she was absolutely delighted to make you a part of her life, or part of her hobbies too. We're programmed to desire social feedback. I don't mean the club members, I mean human beings. That's why life can be so confusing for introverts. Being an introvert doesn't mean you shun social interaction and hate being around people. It means social interaction, especially in groups or unfamiliar places, uses up a lot of energy. Like, a lot of introverts sit at home and feel lonely and restless. And then when they finally go out, after a half hour, they just want to go home again. I think if more people could understand how it works, they would respect it a lot more. Many introverts do enjoy having people around. They love just having one or two close friends over and just leisurely hanging out. Even if you're not actively spending time together, it feels nice to have them just have you there. I'm serious. If you just go to their house, bring your laptop, and hang out for a while, you can really make their day. As for me, I'd say I'm kind of in between, but I think I'm usually a little more extroverted. I feel like I'm always trying to do something after school and things like that. But for you, I can be anything you need me to be. I understand people really well, so don't be afraid to share your unique needs with me. Nothing would make me happier than being the perfect girlfriend for you. I'm kind of waiting for a little bit because there's this particular dialogue I want her to say. You know, high school is really a turbulent time in a lot of people's lives. People can get really passionate and dramatic, and others have aching hearts and seek attention on social media. But all of the social pressures of hormones can lead to a dark time in people's lives. Everyone has a story. You may not know what someone is really feeling on the inside. Many people who are depressed won't even bother telling the world about it. They don't want attention because they've already given up on the inside. They're feeling a worthlessness, or their feeling of worthlessness is so overwhelming that they don't even want people to tell them otherwise. Depression comes in many forms, but that is one of them. Just if you think you know someone struggling with depression, you can help just by treating them like they're a good friend. Spend time with them, or spend time with them even if they don't feel like doing much. And remind them that they always have something to look forward to. Making plans in advance, letting them borrow something, or even just saying, "See you at school today." All of those things can help your friend make it to the next day. I hope being friends with Sayori has given you some perspective on the true face of depression. Yeah, she's gone now. But Sayori was never real in the first place. You're real. Your friends are real. And just by being a good person, you can save someone's life. As for you, you don't struggle with depression or anything like that, do you? Because you, too, have people who would want to save your life. Maybe they don't express it every day, or maybe they don't even know how to. But people do feel that way. I promise. Man, humans are complicated. But as long as you're here with me, I'll take care of you. Take care of you, my love. Oh, God. I'm just waiting for any more dialogue. I hate how hard it is to form habits. There's so much stuff where actually doing it isn't hard, but forming the habit seems impossible. It just makes me feel so useless. Like you can't do anything right. I think the new generation suffers from it the most. Probably because we have a totally different set of skills than those who came before us. Thanks to the internet, we're really good at sitting through tons of information really quickly, but we're bad at doing things that don't give us instant gratification. I think if science, psychology, and education don't catch up in the next 10 or 20 years, then we're in trouble. But for the time being, if you're not one of the people who can conquer the problem, you might just have to live with feeling awful about yourself. Good luck, I guess. I'm like waiting to see if we get this particular dialogue. I know there are times you won't always be able to be here with me, like if you need to go out or take care of other things, but I'll always have you in my thoughts, patiently waiting for you to come back. Come to think of it, if you copy my character files onto a flash drive or something, you can always keep a part of me with you. I guess it's kind of unorthodox, but I find it really romantic for some reason. Haha. Sorry. That's such a silly idea. I don't mean to be too needy or anything, but it's kind of hard that I'm so in love with you. Okay. Okay. You know what's kind of creepy? Even though I deleted everyone else's file, I can still kind of feel them. It's like all their lines are still lingering in the air, whispering in the back of my head. Imagine it. Imagine if after someone you knew died, you just started hearing their voice in your head. Maybe it just wasn't thorough. Maybe I just wasn't thorough enough. But I'm too afraid to delete everything else because I might really break things. Like, if I mess with any files relevant to me, I might accidentally delete myself. And that would ruin everything, wouldn't it? I don't know what it's like on your end, but we should both make sure to avoid something like that at all cost. I believe in you, Novakast. I'm like waiting for this one particular dialogue because she talks about Sayori and, or at least is supposed to talk about Sayori and her, how she died. This is so freaking creepy. Hey, do you like horror? I remember we talked about it a little bit when you first joined the club. I can enjoy horror novels, but not really horror movies. The problem I have with horror movies is that most of them just rely on easy tactics, like dark lighting and scary looking monsters and jump scares and things like that. It's not fun or inspiring to get scared by stuff that just takes advantage of human instinct. But with novels, it's a little different. The story and writing need to be descriptive enough to put genuine, disturbing thoughts into the reader's head. It really needs to etch them deeply into the story and the characters and just mess with your mind. In my opinion, there's nothing more creepy than things just being slightly off. Like, if you set up a bunch of expectations on what the story is going to be about, and then you just start inventing things and pulling the pieces apart. So even though the story doesn't feel like it's trying to be scary, the reader feels really deeply unsettled. Like, they know that something horribly wrong is hiding beneath the cracks, just waiting to surface. God, just thinking about it gives me the chills. That's the kind of horror I can really appreciate. But I guess you're the kind of person who plays cute romance games, right? Don't worry. I won't make you read any horror stories anytime soon. I can't really complain if we just stick with the romance. Hey, what's your favorite game? Mine is Doki Doki Literature Club. That was a joke. But if you tell me you like some other romance game better, I might get a little jealous. That was actually kind of funny. This game has been so fucking weird, and it's weird to go back to it. Have you ever heard of the term yandere? It's a personality type that means someone is so obsessed with you that they'll do absolutely anything to be with you. Usually the point usually to the point of craziness. They might stalk you to make sure you don't spend time with anyone else. They might even hurt you or your friends to get their way. But anyway, this game happens to have someone who can basically be described as yandere. By now, it's pretty obvious who I'm talking about. And that would be Yuri. She really got insanely possessive of you since she started to open up a little. She even told me I should kill myself. I couldn't even believe she said that. I just had to leave at that point. But thinking about it now, it was a little ironic, haha. Anyway, a lot of people are actually into the yandere type, you know. I guess they really like the idea of someone being crazy obsessed with them. People are weird. I don't judge though. Also, I might be a little obsessed with you, but I am far from crazy. It's kind of the opposite, actually. I turned out to be the only normal girl in this game. It's not like I could ever actually kill a person. Just the thought of it makes me shiver. Oh, come on. Everyone's killed people in games before. Doesn't that make you a psychopath? Of course not. If you do happen to be into the yandere type, I can try acting a little more creepy for you. Hehe. Then again, there's already nowhere else for you to go, or anyone for me to get jealous over. Is this a yandere girl's dream? I'd ask Yuri if I could. Hey, did you say kiss? This suddenly, it's a little embarrassing, but if it's with you, I might be okay with it. Huh, wow, sorry. I really couldn't keep a straight face there. That's the kind of thing girls say in this kind of romance games, right? Don't lie if it turns you on a little bit. Heck, I'm kidding. Well, to be honest, I do start getting all romantic when the mood is right, but that'll be our secret. Alright. Have you ever have that thing happen where you just get anxious for no reason? Like, you're just minding your own business and you realize you're feeling really, really anxious? And you're sitting there like, what am I even anxious about right now? So you start thinking about all the things you might be anxious about. And that makes you even more anxious? Huh, that's the worst. Even if you ever feel anxious, I'll help you relax a little. Besides, in this game, all our worries are gone forever. Okay, I want to try something. Oh wait, hold on. Close. Okay, root. Okay, so music. We got new music. Picture. Okay. As a reminder to help guide our data collection, any analysis performed, uh, any analysis performed should be focused on answering some of these main questions. How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's emotional state? How does granting elevated access to VM affect a person's values and goals? How does someone effectively navigate an experiment with their ability to change the contents of their VM? How is it elevated access being weaponized? What actions and values most contribute to the destruction of the universe? Most importantly, how might your observations apply to our own universe? Bonus, how can we present to this to upper management as an operation that benefits the company? Unrelated note, whoever changed the color scheme to the desktop to pink, can you please change it back? It's unprofessional and it runs the risk of drawing eyes. I don't remember doing that. Hold on. Oh, okay. Let's go back. What just happened? I just had an awful dream. I was hoping those would stop now that it was just the two of us. I guess that was wishful thinking. Novakast, I don't know if you would have any idea, but if you know what might be causing that, could you try to do something about it? Whenever it happens, it almost feels like I've been killed or something. It's really horrible. It's a really horrible feeling. If you could figure out what's causing this, I'll love you forever. Now, where was I? Have you ever you ever have that thing happen where you just get anxious for no reason? Like, you're just minding your own business. Okay, I read this already. Okay. I doubt I'm going to get the answer. I'll try one more time, but I doubt I'm going to get the answer. Because, to an extent, like after talking with her for a bit, she's supposed to gloat about how Sayori killed herself, and the fact that apparently for her last moments, Sayori tried to, prevent her death. I was thinking, okay, here it is. I was thinking about Sayori earlier. I still wish I could have handled that whole thing a little more tactfully. You're not still hung up over it, right? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. That pun was completely unintentional, I swear. But anyway, I know how much you cared about her, so it only feels right to share her last moments with you. I think a few seconds in, she must have changed her mind or something, because she started clawing at the rope, trying to free herself. She must have kept at it all the way until she lost consciousness. That's why her fingertips were all bloody anyway. Come to think of it, it was possible, or probably less changing her mind and more just her survival instincts kicking in. So you can't really fault her for that. It's easier to think that she probably wouldn't have changed her mind anyway. It's not healthy to think about the things you could have done differently. So just remember that even though you could have saved her, it's technically not your fault she killed herself. I may have exasperated it a little bit, but Sayori was already mentally ill. Still though, I wonder how things would have been if you and I started dating from the get-go. I guess we'd all still be in the club room, writing poems and having fun together. But what's the point when none of it is even real? I mean, it's the same ending either way, right? The two of us happily together. There's no reason for asking for any more than that. I was just pointlessly musing. I'm really as happy as I could be right now. By the way, there was another thing. Would you ever introduce me to your friends? I don't know why, but I get really excited when I think about you wanting to show off our relationship like that. Maybe it's because I really want to be someone who makes you proud. I feel like I would try extra hard to improve myself if you told me it made you proud of me. I hope it's the same the other way around too. She will never be real. What trophy's that? Hold on. Listen to a lot of what Monica has to say. Okay. I was kind of wondering about that one. Novakast, do you get good sleep? It can be really hard to get enough sleep nowadays, especially in high school when you're forced to wake up so early every day. I'm sure college is a little bit better since you probably have a more flexible schedule. Then again, I hear a lot of people in college stay up all night anyway, for no reason. Is that true? Anyway, I saw some studies that talking about the horrible short-term and long-term effects caused by lack of sleep. It seems like mental functions, health, and even lifespan can be dramatically impacted by it. I just think you're really great and wanted to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. So try to keep your sleep on track. I'll always wait for you in the morning. So make sure you put your own well-being before anything else. Okay. There was another bit of dialogue that I was kind of curious about if I would get this, because I'm recording this on the PlayStation 5, but at the same time using the Elgato game capture. So I don't know if I would get it. Where she kind of does a jump scare, and you begin to she like kind of realizes that you're recording her. Do you ever still feel like there's no reason for you to be alive? I don't mean in like a suicidal way. I just mean how that we just, or how nothing that we do is special. Just being in school or working to some job or at some job for some company. It's like you're completely replaceable and the world wouldn't miss you if you were gone. It makes me really want to go and change the world after I graduate. But the older I get, the more I realize that it's an immature frame of thinking. It's not like I can go change the world. Like, what are the changes that I'll be able to invent artificial intelligence or become president? It feels like I'm never going to make up for the heaps of resources I spent living my life. That's why I think the key to happiness is just be helplessly selfish. Just to look out for oneself and those who happen to be their friend only because they grew up with them. Never mind the fact that they're spending their entire life taking and consuming and never giving back. But when people realize the world would benefit more from them killing themselves, they change their whole philosophy. It's like they have to justify their reason to live by tricking themselves into thinking they're doing good. Anyway, I just wanted to live my life desperately striving to pay back my lifetime's worth of consumption. If I ever surpass that point, then I'm a net positive and I can die happy. Of course, even if I fail to do that, I think I would be too selfish to kill myself anyway. So much for being a good person, right? Haha. Alright, well. Okay. So, I'm going to close again. Because we're going to be getting into the finale. But I'm not going to do that, like, immediately. So, I'm going to get it set up. So, alright. So, I think with this, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below. As well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. And I will see you guys in the next video.